presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Hey, Robert, how you doing, man?
Yes, and thank you for taking my call. I wanted to let you know that I've been a subscriber for a couple of years, just different members of your team, and I really enjoy it. But really the reason I'm calling is to express my sincerest gratitude for you providing that information yesterday on the small business grant. I'm a small business owner and primary breadwinner for my family, and if I can get that money, it's going to really mean a lot to my family. So
that's awesome.
Thank you for taking the time to do that.
No, well, listen, man, we appreciate you growling and prowling with us.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
Hi, folks. Basil Chapman sitting in for Tommy O'Brien. This is the Tom O'Brien Show. We're coming in straight after the Fed's lost, his last commitment as the chairman himself, discussing, and I think towards the end it was getting a little bit more fluent. He got out of that political stuff he had to talk about. We'll see what happens next with the next Fed. Let's get to the Dow. The Dow is down 275 on this Wednesday, the 29th of April, 48,865. You can see 6 sessions of digesting since the high of the 21st at 49,848, and really held very well. It's only now tagging the 14-period exponential moving average. The green 9-period is way over the 14. MACD is still positive. The stochastic is still it's gone down. Whoops. The relative strength is still good. Stochastic's gone down below 80%, 75%. On-balance volume has been very poor. The whole move up has been kind of poor in the volume the way I read it. However, the market's holding well. We are short the Dow, being short for a couple of days. Most importantly, it's treated it in twofold. One is a little bit like an insurance policy. The other is that it has been weaker. It's below the 50. This is the high that was made at 50,512 on the 10th of Feb. So let's just run these numbers. The Chapman methodology, I always like to look at the technicals and just have a very simple technique to the core of the Chapman wave methodology. Identify the lowest low bar, count each successively, higher peak, alphabetize them, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, uppercase on the way up, lowercase on the way down. When it passes a peak A, there's a very good chance that it could get upgraded. If it's upgraded, it implies that it should go to at least peak D, the 4th highest peak. That's where other things can happen. Well, look at that peak D at the all-time high on the 10th of Feb. And look at what it came down from 50,500 to 45,000. That's a pretty big move. And now it's had a really good rally to the upside. But have a look at this. And this is why it's so fascinating. I'm going to go backwards here. The SMHs, usually I do this after the key indices. The index that is really important is the Van Eck Semiconductor ETF. As long as I've been looking at the market for decades, the semis lead us up. The semis lead us down. Invariably, when they're making new highs, or if the market, the Dow and the S&P are making highs, the semiconductor is either right behind. In this case, it was leading with a spectacular move from the 360 level all the way to the high of 510. Just 3 sessions ago, pulls back pretty sharply, didn't even touch the 9-period moving average, and now it's rallying, it's up 7. So I think there is still enough residual strength to say that somehow, in this first week of May coming up, that we get to at least a C and maybe a D, because the requisite is to get you to a D. That's all I can say. The weekly chart is fantastic. Leg C in the monthly, therefore it should still go to a D in the monthly. Here we go. We're going to go to the S&P, SPX right now. This is the same sort of thing. The S&P has gone to, I call it, I don't want to go through it. Friday I do technical analysis, or tomorrow my show at 10 o'clock, the Target Conditions Hour, I'll go through some of the technicals. But I'm calling this a D, even though there's a phantom peak D. It could be another little pop-up of just a little above 71, 78.74, the all-time high. But my thinking here is that we're starting to see some kind of deterioration in the shorter term, the daily charts, not even though they're at highs, not the weekly charts. Those are fantastic. Look at this leg C in the monthly chart of the S&P. QQQ, a little bit here, you can see we went to a peak D, a legitimate peak D at 664.43 3-4 sessions ago. Here we are holding very well at 660. It's just an eye blink away from making a new high. But at the same time, what I am looking at is with a stochastic at 95%, the next big pullback really should bring it down to under 80%. But 95 is what you want to see when things are bullish, because that's fantastic. Look at the IWM, not quite as strong. IWM right now is trading at 271.34, down 250. This is the 6 days since the high that was made at 279.79. I'm calling that a phantom peak as well. Could still go to a D, but I just wanted to be ready because the on-balance volume pulled back and the stochastic was up in the 92% area. Now it's at 81. Still good, but starting to pull back. But look at the distance between the 9 and the 14. Really, all of these would have to drop, I would say, about 7% at least for those 9-period moving averages to flip negative. All right, now we go back to the estimations just for a moment. Estimation semiconductor index is trading, whoops, where did it go? Right there. Estimation is trading right at the 498 level, very close to 500. 510 was the all-time high. I'm just thinking that there's enough to push it a little bit higher, but at the same time, a kind of a warning out there now. This is going to be absolutely imperative to monitor. Crude oil. Look at that, moving crude oil up $8.50. Any other time in the history of the market, if crude oil had a move that went from 58, basically in the 50s, to the hundreds, I couldn't even tell you what would have happened to the market. The market, I mean, back in the 70s, you remember there was the top, that 74, was it? Top? Yeah. So I'm just saying that this is remarkable. The market is discounting, and I'm not sure in the shorter term that it can discount very much longer. At some point, there's going to be a realization. And it's actually one for my subscribers to my opening call. It's one of the reasons why I decided that I would go for a low-priced oil and gas company. I'd been asked this morning about RIG. RIG is, look at this, RIG is up 12 cents at 691. Low price Transocean Limited. This is drilling, oil and gas, natural gas. It's looking like it wants to head for that peak D that was made on the 30th at 714. I was asked about RES. All of these are low price and they really be doing well. RES, this is RPC Holding Company for oil field service equipment and oil and gas. Look at that, up a penny at 793. The one that we bought yesterday morning, the day before. We bought it on the 28th. Today is what? It doesn't feel like it. It's only the next day, the 29th. We bought it at $3.92, and we took a tad off at $4.12. And here it is at $4. It hit $4.43, up $10 just today alone. There's something going on. WNT Offshore Inc., independent oil and natural gas producer, explorer. All I can say is that is quite remarkable. And only a leg C in the monthly chart. But look at this. Is this a brand new E in the weekly chart? I had to look how far it is away from the 200-period moving average. It turns the whole $4.10 to $3.90 into really strong support. I mean, to have done this in such a short period of time, and yet the Dow is only down 328, the S&P's down 11 points. 11 points, you could do that in a blink of an eye. It's like your natural thing. Every minute or two, it's kind of moving 11 points. So this is remarkably resilient. In fact, I typed into the den, resilient market, and 7 minutes later, the Fed chairman says, resilient market? All right, that's exactly what we've got. Now, let's go on to, I needed to look at the bonds. So look at this. The bonds right now are going down. So yields are going up. Look at this. Here's the TBT. This is the bonds itself. This is the 20-year ultra-short Lehman 20-year Treasury bond ETF, but this is the yield. So look, P, A, B, C, it looks like the cup formation is going to go right to the high that was made on the 24th of March of 36.14. And where are we today? The high is 35.97. Oh, and look at the weekly chart, how strong it's been. I'm not sure just what is... let me just do this real quickly. Amazon, earnings after the bell. Look at that. EF could have recycled, but everything's strong. 9 over the 14, price over the... 9 over the 14, the price is way over the 9. MACD is still very good. Relative strength has just pulled back a tad, but still strong. Stochastic at 93%. That's what you wait for. To be able to sustain that, that's really important. So I'm going to just put in there. So that could even be an instant restart, but I'm going to call this E. And just for now, I'm going to call it F. Why? Within about another 30 minutes or so, we're going to know exactly what's going on. You've got something like that. Amazon, all-time highs. The weekly chart, leg C. Amazing. A monthly chart, sorry. Leg, this is amazing. The weekly chart is in leg B. Good grief. That's fabulous action. Goog. So I don't do the Goog trading. I do the Goog Alphabet Inc. C shares search engine, leg E, and it could even be a brand new A, B. It could be a brand new C in the monthly chart. Is this an A or an F in the weekly chart? At this point, I'm putting both just because I'm busy talking. I haven't had a chance to do any analysis of this. FA, very strong, all-time high. And look, here's the daily chart. Bounces off the two. What a beautiful indicator. Bounces exactly off the 200-period moving average, peak A, peak B, peak C, peak D, maybe even an instant restart, E. So this is the question came in. What would you say to these things, given that there's going to be an earnings report after 4 o'clock? I'll do that when I get back because I think it's going to be important. Let's do Microsoft. Microsoft is trading down 5 at 424. It has made its peak D. I'll talk about that when I return. I usually don't like to do anything for trading before the report because the report comes out the next day. Options haven't. You've lost because
if you're
options
looking for
haven't
potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds for both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. ALPS Distributors, Inc.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Tom O'Brien. Hi folks, we're back. Basil Chapman saying for Tommy O'Brien. This is the Tom O'Brien Show on Wednesday, the 29th. Fed Chairman just gave his last little conference, little tete-a-tete amongst the journalists, questions, etc. Right. So this is what I'd be looking at. So there's like a diamond pattern here for the Microsoft. It's not one of my favorite patterns, but I do like that. I haven't seen one of these in ages. This is almost a ho-ho-ho. We have not had one of these in about a year. This is what I call the Chapman wave stalk leg formation. So this is the leg. This is the body. I usually like a couple more bars to the right. I like it to be long because the stalk's body is kind of long. And then what happens is it spikes up above the previous high. It has one little pop to the upside. And then if it comes back and it comes back into the body, that's one thing. If it goes through the body, sorry, it sounds so terrible. If it goes underneath that belly, the 23rd of April, which is at 411.41, that is very negative. But after that, so this is the leg, the body, the neck. Then you get the beak, and the beak is really important because after the beak concludes, there's usually a powerful rally, a very short and powerful rally. So this is a fairly wow, I haven't seen one of these in ages. So this could also become a coil, a spring coil for a propeller shaft move that's almost, not quite, but usually almost equal to the length of the move up. There's the propeller shaft, and then it runs up. So it has a whole bunch of connotations. So tomorrow, not before the conference call, after the earnings report. Do you want to do anything? In other words, you could have options and be a multi-millionaire over the evening. Let's just say they blast out the earnings. Fantastic. I don't see how Microsoft can do it. I think it's still got some problems there. But let's just say, but at 9:30 tomorrow morning when the options open, you might get out, but they're at a loss. So I don't like to do any calls like that. I'll tell you what I'd be looking at. If there was an earnings report, I'd say this is a high-level consolidation. I like it. There's a good chance that the 433.77 high will be taken out over the next 3 to 5 sessions. And if you come back, you have to hold 423, because if you don't, you're probably going to retest the bottom. That's just the way I'd look at it, right? Look at Goog. So Google right now, this is the daily chart on the left, weekly chart on the right, in the middle, and then a monthly chart on the right. And this is now, you see, I have to go back and say, man, that is definitely a buy signal. I didn't do much work on this, did I? On Alphabet. And this is actually A, V, C. And sometimes that's what you have to do. You've got to go back and say, in Chapman wave methodology, your only obligation is to get the last letter right. And then you can move on, because you can have an alternate count. It gives you a clue that you might be wrong, but at the same time, this is A, this is B, and that's C. And that's my conclusion. Alphabet C shares are in leg C in the monthly chart. Very positive for 2026. So here it's the same thing. For it to have a very big sharp pullback, 348.47 up 98 cents. Right now, I'd say this is what you need to be monitoring. The green 9-period moving average of 340, and then the black 14-period moving average of 334. To get this green to go pink, meaning the 9 and the 14 has gone negative underneath the 14, you'd have to see I don't even think that would work. 320 Pierce. I don't think you'd get anything even close with the green going to the black, even touching it. So this is very positive. Look, right on the 200-period moving average. It hit it exactly in the 270s. So, and the weekly chart, it looks to me, I have to treat this because it went pink as it went underneath. If it was still green, I say this could be a continuation pattern. So I'm just watching this right now. Google usually comes out, if I remember correctly, the day that as it's announced, sometimes it pulls back and then later on it starts to rally somewhat. So we'll be watching that. What's the other one? I said Amazon, all-time highs as we speak. At 262.46. They're all doing the same thing. They are ready for a pullback. Anyone could look at it and say, hey, it looks overbought. No. The 9's over the 14, the price is over the 9. That's great daily. MACD's good. Relative strength is good. Stochastic's fabulous at 92%. And the on-balance volume. So these things could, wow, maybe this will be a spur for the SMHs to actually push higher towards the 510 level. I'm quite prepared for that. So as I say, we've got a short position in the Dow. We can monitor the stop. It doesn't matter because we got in quite nicely. But most importantly, I'm looking at some. There was a stock the other day that I wanted to buy at a certain point. I should never do this. And then I changed the number. I said we had Quinity once before. It did fantastically, made nice money, and then we got out. We got out right there. Those people who couldn't get out during the overnight session into the early morning, couldn't get out until 9:30, were rewarded. They got out at 139, almost at the exact high. Then it pulled all the way back, 108, round number low. And I said, we've got to get in, Didn't, and even the other day, I said, all right, we've missed it, but let's go for 136. Well, it went to 135.20, and now it's at 140. You just can't play games. If you like it, you got to get in. I didn't get in. Look at this. It's up a few points. Quinity Electronics, spinner from DuPont, semi-materials, holding very well. What happens next is a big question. So I wanted to show you something that I think is quite important. Look, here's the SOX index. This is 3 times short the SMHs, the semiconductors. 1130 was the low 4 sessions ago. Look what it did. Yesterday, it hit 16.27. That's 5 points. So it went up about 40-something% in just 2 days. So that's the volatility. But my thinking here is based on what I'm looking at, that SMH, the semiconductors, it's not going to take much for it to just pop a little bit to the 510s, about 510.10, and make that leg C. And then once we're in C, I can start to say, all right, I think we're getting close. But I don't want to step in front of a freight train. The semis have been the sector to be in. They still be. Oh, what was that question someone asked about? Where did it go? Oh, I'll have a look at Bitcoin in a moment. Yeah, so it's been the sector to be in. And until there's bad news, sectors don't just give things up just because they're a little overbought. There's got to be a sock to the nose that says, okay, this is bad. We haven't had that yet. So there's still good news left for the semis to go a little higher. So a question about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin right now is down 955. So we've been long for a little while. We were long once upon. Did I take that away? Yeah, we were long much earlier, ran all the way to the top, then got out positions, and then when I made that double top at 127,750, I said, that's a peak D. How many peak Ds really? They can be very vicious when they come down, and this one really took a bite out of the whole Bitcoin thing. And Tom Lee was talking about, 150,000, whatever it is, and he's really good, but sometimes when he's off, he can be really off. But when he's good, he's very good. So look at this. It went from 127,750 to 60,050. And look how nicely the weekly chart has been improving, but it hasn't broken the rectangle. It needs to get to the 82,500s. It hasn't done that. So I'm watching it. I've given it a little bit of room. We've taken some money off, but I'm watching it. I like it at this particular point. I think it's still holding pretty well. I'll be back. Basil Chapman sitting for Tommy O'Brien. The Dow is down 290.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Hi folks, Basil Chapman for Tommy O'Brien. This is the Tom O'Brien Show. XLE, this is the S&P Select Energy Spider Fund, 58.95 up $1.25. Yeah, it's doing well, but it's quite a bit off the 63 high that was made, all-time high that was made back in March. So let me just do this real quickly. So I was asked about this. So we've got the earnings coming. So the parameters to look at here for Google, I'm using just the Google C shares, trading at 347. The 359 to 361 area looks to me like that could be a technical resistance area. Most importantly, it needs to hold the 338 to 334 area by tomorrow, Thursday. So it's not what it does overnight. It's what it does after the earnings call and what happens when it opens tomorrow. Let's go Amazon. Amazon all-time high as we speak is trading at 262 up 265. 272 to 275, that would be the upside resistance. If it actually gets there, I think that changes the market a little bit for the next week going into May. But the key support will be 250. At this point, it doesn't matter when it happens, but 250 is very important to hold. Let me go to Microsoft. I did it a little earlier, but Microsoft right now is trading down 5. So I'm going to look at Microsoft and say, you know what? It's held very well. But the number to watch is 441. That's the, 437. to 441 resistance. And the major support over the next week will be the 405 area. What am I missing? I didn't even get to Netflix. Doesn't matter. Let me just wrap it up here. So Basil Chapman sitting in for Tommy O'Brien. Tommy will be back tomorrow for the morning market kickoff at 9 o'clock. Great show, as always. And check out my opening call daily newsletter. We had some nice trades. And what I am looking at is that what happens on Friday, what happens on Thursday, the close of the month, is really important. And then what happens going into Monday is going to be important because that kicks off May. So have a great evening. Oh, fuel cell. Yes, great move on fuel cell. Congratulations, Dan. Look at that move. Up 13.40. Have a great evening, and we will see you tomorrow. I'll be back 10 o'clock for the Tiger Technicians Hour. Hope you can join me tomorrow.